people. I woke up this morning hungry. You ever have that ever happened to you where you wake up and you feel like you ain't ate in like decades? And normally I'm not really that hungry in the morning. Why is my camera? Does it look blurry to y'all? Maybe I need to wipe off the lens. Anyway, does it ever happen to y'all where you just wake up? And I'm normally like, I won't eat until like 11. Like I'm not really a breakfast person. Oh, but I'm about to have some breakfast this morning. I'm about to eat because I'm hungry. Y'all, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm PMSing. I don't know what. I'm starving. I'm sweating like a pig. I can't really tell you what my problem is right now. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I didn't put on no makeup really because I can't stop sweating. And it's like 30 degrees over here, so it ain't hot. What's up with your girl? I think my hormones must be out of sync or something. Whew. Look at, you see the glistening? And I ain't worked out. I should have worked out, but I ain't worked out. All right, well, you know what? Let's go eat. Let's go get us something to eat. I'm about to make something real quick. Whip it up. Y'all, come on. Let's get you some. Okay, guys. Oh, sorry about this. I'm in the car. I think the last time you saw me, I was leaving the house, I think. Anyway, I am just finishing up with one of my new clients who is like out to here, and she's so like got the most perfect little basketball of a stomach. It's so cute. That's one of the reasons like I really want to lose weight, because when I'm pregnant, I want it to look like I'm pregnant. I don't want you to have to guess like, is she big or is she pregnant? Like, I want you to know that your girl is pregnant. Which, let me just tell you a little bit about that whole struggle of a journey lately, is that I have been going back and forth between these like 3 or 4 pounds, up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. And well, I know that's part of the process. When I tell you it messes with your brain, girl, it messes with your brain, because it got me over here like, I don't know. I just start to second guess what I'm doing. And 2, it's been the holiday and I've been eating. I can't even front. Like, I have been eating. And even though I have a tiny tummy, because if you don't know, I had the gastric sleeve recently. Even though my stomach's not big, like, I just have been having a lot more snacks more often. Or like, I'll just have my plate and I'll just keep eating on it throughout the day instead of having like actual meal times like you're supposed to. Anywho, I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things because they've been coming up and it's just been on my mind, and I thought, let me talk to my crew, which, hold please. Y'all, I wanted to come on here and say thank you so much. You've been showing me so much love on my last video about me and Pookie. I really appreciate it. Everybody's been so supportive and positive, and it just feels good that I'm telling my story and it's being received so well. I haven't even got a chance to tell him about it because I haven't talked to him lately, but one of the things that someone asked me was about like, how do you deal with disagreements or when things are difficult, like how do you deal with them? One thing I will say is that your communication, you learn how to communicate effectively, because there's a lot of factors that go into when you can communicate and how you communicate. So, you know, you have the phone. If we're privileged to have the phone, not everybody has the phone option, but if we are privileged to have the phone, oh crap, I'm supposed to be in the other lane. Darn it, how am I gonna get over there? Anyway, if you are privileged to have phone privileges, then you only typically get 15 to 20 minutes. Fortunately, we get 20 minutes, but the phone calls, they're a lot cheaper than they were back in the day. I'm gonna cut this lady because she ain't paying attention, so I'm gonna cut her. Sorry, y'all, I'm cutting. Ooh, I did it. I made it across them lanes. Thank you for not paying attention, lady. Okay. See, but my radical driving makes y'all have to break down. So anyway, you get 20 minutes to have a conversation, and the phone calls are about $3.60 a piece, Which, when I tell you, we first started, he was across the way at Walla Walla, which was like 5 hours away. It was across the mountains, so in the wintertime you couldn't go because it was snow. And the phones would always shut down because of the crazy snowstorms or whatnot. And but the phone call amount was, they were like $18 and some change. So you can only imagine. Like, I remember my parents gave me one phone call a month, $18. And back then, that was 20 something years ago. That was a lot of money. And then I got a little job, and we started maybe talking like 2 or 3 times a month. And then I started sneaking talking to him because my parents would be at church or something. And I knew they wasn't going to be home, so they wouldn't see the phone. And I would have them call, and just rake up this bill. And then I would be hustling all month trying to get to the mailbox before they got to it, so that I could intercept the bill and just pay for it without them knowing. And I'd have to go on the caller ID and erase that he'd called, because, you know, my mom's nosy, and she'd be looking to see who I was talking to or whatnot. Probably not nosy, probably just being a responsible parent. But I would go through some lengths to try to talk to him because he was so far. We didn't see each other for a long time. Anyway, I'm digressing. So now the phone calls are a lot cheaper than they used to be, but still, that can rake up, especially if you in a good fight. Like, we've had some good ones where it's like we probably went through, you know, burned through $20 in a day, which could go by super fast. But you learn how to communicate effectively. Like, what we'll do is, like, a lot of times we will address the things that are just burning us up right then, like address why we feel the way we do. And then we try to just wait till we can get to the visit, which I'm also fortunate that I can visit him every week, a few times a week, in person, so we can hash out that fight face to face. And then at that time, we have a whole 4 hours to get through it. Oop, okay now. Ooh, 4 feet. Aggressive. And that's probably the best way, except I hate going all the way to visit just to fight. Like, I haven't seen you all week, and now we in here beefing. But sometimes it's necessary because, you know, everybody has feelings. Our relationship's no different than anybody else's relationship. Y'all get mad, you bicker. We have a season, and we're actually in the season right now where we just bicker for no reason. Like, he just irritates the crap out of me, and I'm sure I irritate him, but not that much, because I'm not annoying, okay? I'm not. He might think he might tell you something different, but I disagree. But yeah, so we have those times, you know, everybody does. Like, you get on each other's nerves, or maybe it's something that has been kind of been a bother, but you haven't said it because you're trying to be like cool, but then all of a sudden it just blows up, and now you're like, and another thing. I mean, that happens. Our relationship, like I said, is no different. We go through the same up and down as other people, but you do learn to talk things through, because that's really what we have. For years, that's all we had, was just to be able to talk. The one thing that kind of sucks is, like, you know, I know that there's times where he might have messed up, or he knows why he made me mad. And it ain't like when he's done, I end up with like flowers, or he can take me to dinner, or, you know, how people make up. And I always tally. I always tell him, like, that's another one added to the list. I'm just teasing, but like, you don't get that. Like, he will say I'm sorry, and all you get is the I'm sorry. So he has to make it a really good I'm sorry, because nothing else comes with the I'm sorry besides his word, you know what I mean? And same with me. The only difference is, like, there are little things that I could do if I really wanted to, like, make it up to him, or if I wanted to show him, like, yeah, I'm sorry, babe, and be cutesy. There's more things I can do on my end than he can on his end. I mean, yes, I've gotten lots of drawings, and I've got lots of beaded things, and lots of paintings, and I get all that stuff. But, you know, and it's sweet because they make it, and I know a lot of people are like, I just wish you would do something thoughtful and make me something. Okay, yes, that's true. But when that's all you get is homemade stuff, and you don't get nothing from the store, sometimes you just want something bought. I want something from the store with a tag on it. So I know how much you paid for it, you know? I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes it does. It's like, okay, thanks for the card that you drew. It's cute. But when that's all you get, it's like, I'm sure it's, like I said, the same as a woman who is constantly getting things purchased for her and she wants something sentimental. Yeah, you always want what you don't have. I mean, especially if we're going through something and we're really having a hard time getting on the same page, it's hard to get a resolution because you don't have that much time. And okay, so I was saying there's other reasons that kind of hinder your ability to have all this communication time. So lack of being able to use the phone or affording the phone is one. The other one is like, you, depending on where he's at and like what job he has, and depending on what times are count times or what time is time he can go out and actually use the phone, like it could be very limited space and time. And if that doesn't line up with what times you have available, then he'll call on times where you can't talk, or maybe you don't even have your phone on you because it's work and you can't, or you know, it's never just like I mean, you kind of have to schedule your communication. Like, okay, on this day, on Saturday at 2 o'clock, you call me because we about to fight. Because I know he's got 2 o'clock open. I know I got 2 o'clock open, and we can get to hash this out. Sometimes it has to be like that. The other one thing that really always kind of still bothers me is that I can never call him. It's always on his time that we have the phone call. So yeah, he might be busy and be like, okay, I can't call right now, so I'm gonna call her a little bit later. But you don't know if I'm busy now. So we've had to really work on making sure we know each other's schedules, because if it's inconvenient for me or him, sometimes it's just gonna have to be inconvenient because we need to have that communication, you know what I'm saying? But then like if there's days where you're beefing and you don't want to talk, I might not want to talk to you right now, but when I do want to talk to you, I can't call you, so you still call me. Sorry if y'all can't see me, but it's hecka bright out here. You still call me so I can tell you I don't want to talk to you. Because otherwise, how am I going to tell you that? Or how, like if I did want to talk to you and you're just not calling, like that's not fair, you know? I don't know. That doesn't happen very much anymore. I mean, both of us have kind of like, of course, just matured, and a lot of things that we go through, we kind of know how we need to remedy it before the other person even has to say it. Because I know what I do when I do stuff to make him mad, and vice versa. But it's just part of it. You push each other's buttons, and we'll go months without having the slightest disagreement. Months. And then all of a sudden, I just can't stand the way he breathes, or I can't stand the way he chews, and he can't stand the way I suck my teeth, or something. Like all of a sudden, it's just like, argh, get on my nerves. But yeah, those are kind of some of the challenges. And I guess I don't even really know how to compare it to what other people go through, besides what I see with my friends and family. But at the same time, like, I don't know if this is arrogant, but I would like to believe that our communication is stronger than maybe the most typical couple, because that's all we've had for so long. We have to say our feelings so that we can get to the bottom of things. And I'm not one that likes to gloss things over or push things under the rug. Like, I need to know exactly how you feel, why you feel that way, what I did to make you feel that way so I don't do it again. And I need you to know the same thing, because you ain't doing that to me no more. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very, I'm very, like, I don't know if hands-on is the word, but like, both of us have just learned that we really need to use our words. And we try very hard to make sure that, everybody knows how everybody feels, you know? Sorry, y'all. I just got to work. Back to the office, and it is busy in here. Okay. So yeah, communication, I mean, it can be a challenge. And disagreements can be a challenge because, you know, it's hard. It's hard to compress your feelings sometimes into a 20-minute phone call. Even 40 minutes. I mean, y'all know how fights go. Fights can go on for days when you really want to fight, if it's really something to fight about. And I'm sure you're like, well, what could y'all be fighting about? he gets on my nerves the same way your man gets on your nerves, and vice versa. There's, and even just like, sometimes you'll think that you have the same ideas or same feelings about something, and then realize, like, wait, what do you think you're doing? Sometimes you're just not on the same page, so you got to get back on that. And depending on what happens or why you got off the same page, that could lead to an argument. Let me try to think some of the big things that we argue about. We don't really have big arguments anymore. I think we did before because we were both just like young and really growing up together. But now we don't really have like big arguments. We kind of know where we stand on the big topics. I think just the little things they're really just little things. Like the other day, and mind you, I don't know if this is like rational, because I'm not always the most rational person. But we were walking and talking in the visiting room. Mind you, there's not a lot of space to walk and talk. And Pookie is not little. He's 6'2" or 6'3", probably about 280, big shoulders, big chest, like all muscle. Everybody teases. They always call him Rose because he has the big beard. And he's just a big guy. And he's very, like, kind of intimidating when you see him. But he's big, so he takes up a lot of space. And we're walking in the aisle, and he's telling me this story, which is a funny story. And he had to, he did this motion where he had to push. But this man could not walk and talk at the same time. He kept stopping, and people are behind us. And I'm like, walk and talk. And he couldn't get it. He just couldn't do it, and it was driving me insane. So I said something about it. I was like, what? Why can't you walk and talk? You keep blocking up the aisle. And he was like, oh, just get over it. And I don't know, that get over it. Don't say that to me. Do not get over it to me, okay? You want to catch an attitude? That's how you catch an attitude. Tell me to get over it. No, you walk and talk. Learn how to do that. How about that? God, it gets on my nerves. But stuff like that. Stupid stuff. I can't remember when the last big argument. Okay, here's something. Sometimes when we do get into an argument, it might have started with like a little disagreement. And what we've been really working on is like, if you feel like your buttons are being pushed. And I learned this from Jada and Will Smith, their Red Table Talk, because I've been really trying to introduce it to us, because I'm one that I'll say, like, just leave me alone. Like, I know when I'm about to get to that point where my tongue becomes vicious. And when I say leave me alone, instead of him just doing that, he pokes me. You poke this bear if you want to. You poke away if you want to. Because don't be mad when she lashes on you and cuts you up with her tongue. Because I cut. And I don't like that about myself. And I try not to. So I've asked him, I said, I need you to respect when I say I need you to give me some time. Because like Will said, I love you, but I cannot speak lovingly to you right now. That was real. Because one thing that he does that I wish I could do, when he's mad, okay, say he's mad, and like say I had a bad day or I'm sad about something, he'll drop his anger and just be like, baby, what can